Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Ginger Toy Mentor. Today we're going to be looking at the War for Cybertron Bumblebee, which is kind of in the original Bumblebee car form. That I'm pretty sure probably looks a lot better than the original Bumblebee did, which I think pretty much was just like extendo legs, and you flipped over his body and everything was just kind of built into his head. So we got two pieces of tape here holding this together. And inside the box is a kind of like a little stand you could put them in. There's also a piece of Teletran 1. I guess you get to put him together. I didn't see that anywhere on the box, that you would be able to find multiple versions of the Teletran 1 in there. That's interesting. We also, of course, have the instruction manual on how to transform him. And let's do the whole thing. It should be interesting. I've never transformed this guy before, and he does have some pretty complicated instructions. I mean, 20 part instructions here. But we'll try to do it first without the instructions, and then we'll go from there. It looks like he is in his robot mode, but as I have discovered quite a few times in quite a few different variations of opening up these War for Cybertron, Legacy, and various other Transformers, is that they're often not correctly transformed, would be the way to put it. They're very often, more than not, they're only partially transformed. And so I'll take a quick look and see if there is any other kind of transformation that needs to happen, like how his gun needs to go, and then we'll get a nice little fashion photo shot of him in his robot mode. I had a little bit of trouble getting this one out. I'm going to grab my keys real quick and see if I can't pull this away. The last thing I want to do is scratch up the toy. I mean, that's literally what I bought this for. And he's so tight in there, it's kind of hard to get him out without messing him up. So we also have some other items here. A little tiny plastic piece, not really sure what that is. There's two of them, so I guess we'll find that out. We also have something that looks like a piece that could go on a gun. Not entirely sure about that. And then definitely two guns. So we've got not one, but two guns for Bumblebee. This is my preferred Bumblebee, by the way. This is the one that I like. I don't particularly care for the new Bumblebee, the one that's the Grand, Trans Am or whatever. And I really enjoy this one. Alright, so let's reference the manual here. So I think that these are clips. I want to say these are clips because it looks to me like they slide into the side of the gun and become like clips that extend out the side of the gun. And then we're going to put those guns in his hand, obviously. Doesn't seem to matter which side you want to put the clip on. Because it does look like it'll go on either side. So we could have the clips coming out the right or the left. However, in the manual, it does look like the clip is on the left side, or coming out the right side, sort of in between his hands. So go ahead and we'll do it that way. And that's him with both his guns. It does look also like there may be a way to combine the guns together. Just looking at them, it does seem like there is a sort of a bigger gun mode where you would combine everything together to make like a ridiculously huge cannon. let's set him up with the ridiculously huge cannon, shall we? I feel like that would be cooler for his fashion photo shot. So there's a hole in the back of one of the cannons, and they definitely will fit together like this. We're going to take both of the clips and we're going to put them on the same gun, like so. So now we have a kind of a cool looking cannon. And then we have this thing, which seems to be the piece that goes on the very end in combination with everything else. And there is actually storage places for his guns and stuff when he's not in robot mode, which is kind of interesting. So when he's in car mode, there are some places that we can store these guns away, or these clips and various things. So we'll have to take a look at that when we transform him. But for the most part, it does look like we're looking at something like a freaking cannon or something. I'm not really quite sure how you could possibly attach the cannon onto him, but it would it looks like there's a little tiny piece right here which could slot into something. Let's just go ahead and put this in his right hand. And my boy has like a legit cannon. I mean, just monstrous looking. That jank looked like it would hurt. I'm not sure if that is the correct way. Yes, it is on the box that way. So that is exactly how he's supposed to be postured. And then apparently also his back trunk comes off and becomes a shield, which he can then hold like this. Go ahead and bend that elbow a little bit. And so then he literally just has a monster cannon and a huge shield, just absolutely massive. That's so cool looking. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm enamored. I'm enamored with this. Let me see if I can get a nice close-up shot of this guy, like in his glory here. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Yes, I am 5 years old. Shut up. I think this is how we're gonna do his fashion photo shot. This is pretty cool. We'll get him on the turntable, get it focused in, and we'll get a nice 4K resolution shot of him like this. In fact, you know what? Let's kind of have it so he's pointing his gun a specific way, and then his head is ever so slightly turned to look like, you know, kind of like in that direction that he's aiming, and get his shield nice and up like this. So he's blocking, you know, blocking some damage. Maybe he's pointing it this way because he's fighting against, you know, guys over here and guys over here or something. You know, maybe he's got a little bit of both going on. I mean, that cannon is just massive. All right, let's flash to the photo shoot, and then we're going to try and transform into his car mode. And, you know, punch buggy, yellow, no hitbacks. Alright, so now let's try and transform him into his car mode, his Volkswagen. According to the manual, and I did catch it slightly, I wasn't trying to look at it, but it did look like there was places for all of these pieces to go, all of his gun pieces. Obviously, his Volkswagen back piece is going to have to go back, obviously, on his back. So let's go ahead and see if we can't go ahead and launch that back there. And I'm not really sure what to do with him. I mean, we do have feet. The feet seem relatively straightforward. Not sure what's going on here with the plastic. There is a number written on the inside of his foot. Not sure if you guys can see that, but it is number F0702. And he also has some sort of weird mark right here on the inside of his foot. Not sure what that's about. Poor little Bumblebee. You know what, let's take this off for a second because I really don't know what I'm doing. And I'm assuming maybe his feet fold. Oh wow, they really do fold. They are some folding feet. Okay, we got lots of folding action. Oh good. The whole hip mechanism folds up. That's interesting. And then I'm not really sure what to do after that. I mean, this is the front of the car, right? And then we also have his arms, which seem to be attached to wheels. So I'm assuming that they also need to rotate. Yes, looks like they rotate down. Yes, so they're kind of like hooked in, which is interesting. Okay, so his hood comes out from underneath of his windshield, kind of similar to the way that Optimus works. I'm assuming maybe I gotta turn his head so that it faces downward. Not really sure what's going on with his head. Doesn't really move very much. It does seem to be on a pivot right here. I don't want to break it. But it definitely looks like it's on a pivot. Yeah, just a little hard to click. Okay, so it is on a pivot. That's interesting. And I'm not exactly sure what that got me though. I am not sure at all what that got me. It doesn't feel like that got me anywhere. I mean, I can pivot his head down, I guess, which, that's the thing. I guess that does something. There's a hood in the way though, so it's not like it can really go very far, even if it wanted to. I mean, the arms are pretty straightforward. It looks like the arms just kind of fold up. I'm going to be honest with you, this guy's a little complicated. I don't think I'm going to be able to transform him without breaking him. Because I got to play around with all these joints that are really tight, and I don't know what these joints do. Alright, so the first step that they tell us to do is to pull out the hood right here. And that covers his face up precisely. So he no longer has a face. His face is just covered up, and that's pretty much that. Then the next thing is to fold down the arms, which we did do. I don't really know exactly how these arms fold down properly, but certainly give it a try. I'm also noticing some issues here in getting the... Oh, well, that is really tight. So getting this particular part into underneath the hood, you kind of have to like push it, and I don't really like that. It doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm gonna break something. But once you get it in there, it's very tight, and it stays in there. So I mean, maybe that is how they intended it to be. I'm assuming that the legs probably fold all the way back. We also have wheels on the inside of the feet, which I did not see before, which should have more of an indication of where these go. Okay, alright, and then the wheels come down. It's a pretty ingenious little transformation here, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty cool. I am having a little bit of trouble getting everything to line up the way that I would like it to line up, but it's pretty cool. Okay, and then this guy also comes down like this. We also need to fold down the wheel. Got a little bit of problem going on here with the arms. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the arms. It feels like there's supposed to be something here for them to go into, and it's not quite working out that way. No, that's not going to work either. I could very easily accidentally pop these legs off. They're on these little hinges, and it does seem like, quite honestly, it'd be very easy just to accidentally pop them off. There's definitely something going on with the hip area that I don't quite have correct. Does the hip area rotate? The hip area does rotate. Okay, that explains that. And that covers the reason why the hips weren't working. Maybe I can do this without the manual. Maybe I can. Alright. This hip area right here is really sort of difficult to get correct. Okay. Dang, that is some tight stuff. Alright, and then not really sure what's going on with the arms, other than maybe they just sit there. Oh, okay, it almost looks like the arms actually are part of the transformation for the back end. Maybe the hands actually function to hold these two poles right here. It's kind of what it seems like. But it looks like they also need to go a little confused on what to do with these hands in the last phase. The way they have them and the way I have them are like completely different. Ah, there we go. Okay, so the whole thing rotates downward. And then the hands point upward. And then my boy here goes into the two hands. That's what I thought. I thought he went into the two hands. And we got a lot of lines here. I mean, we got a line on the top, which doesn't really seem to fit very well. Not sure if there's something that I'm missing here, like as far as like maybe like a locking mechanism to hold it together. Doesn't really seem like it. It seems like it's held together by the hands, the position of the hands, and if the position of the hands isn't quite right, it doesn't really look quite right. I'm going to be honest, I mean, it looks like a really good Volkswagen Beetle, but it just does have a lot of seams all over the place. Now, according to the manual, we can store the guns on the underside of him, apparently. In some sort of like jet ski mode. So basically, like the jet ski mode goes something like this. If I can even do this. This is crazy looking. This is really crazy looking. Okay, so this piece unfolds. And yes, it unfolds. Okay, that's interesting. And it goes right here along the back side of the vehicle and goes into two holes right there. And then our guns, both of them, with their barrels pointing backwards. Looks like backwards to me. It doesn't make any sense though. Ah, okay. So there's a hole on the inside of the peg of the gun. Alright, and then that goes like this. And then our two clips apparently go on the front wheels as skis, like kind of like jet skis. And then you have your jet ski version of of Bumblebee. He's got his jet skis in the front, he's got his rocket boosters, and then on the underside is like a, I guess like a chain track for ice, which is kind of interesting. And all of it, of course, is basically just, you know, that's his weapons. Apparently there's a third configuration, which looks absolutely insane. And that one is a giant gun basically on the top of him. And I don't really know if I want to put that one together because it's not really like what we're looking for, but let me show you guys a picture of it. It basically shows like the whole gun, just like put together, all the pieces of the gun. Both guns, the clips, also the shield, mounted on the hood of the car in a hole which I can't quite find. I'm not gonna lie, there doesn't seem to be that hole there. Unless it's just kind of like, I don't really know. Of course, he doesn't roll in this mode, which is unfortunate, but he does slide. I am a little worried about this not staying closed. Like this right here bugs me. This just like spot right here just doesn't want to stay closed. There doesn't seem to be any clipping mechanism to make it stay closed, and I can't really get it to clip. Like it just kind of like vaguely like reaches a point where it sort of stays closed, but for the most part it's not. And there's just kind of like a really big gap. I mean, you can clearly see that there's a gap right here in the like seam of the transformer, and he doesn't really kind of fit properly there. Unless there's something that I'm missing that would somehow allow him to click in, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't seem like it. He doesn't. There's not a click in. Oh, that's an interesting discovery. His bumper is made out of rubber. I didn't even realize that until just now. I thought it was like hard plastic or something. It's a rubber baby bubby bunker. His front bumpers are also made out of rubber. That's pretty cool. His wheels, however, are not. His wheels are made out of hard plastic. All right, let's swap to a fashion photo shot of him in his car mode, and that'll be it. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we're looking at a very strange Bumblebee, which does seem to be better than the original Bumblebee, but I'm still not quite sure that I like it entirely. It is there's just a lot of seams and a lot of things going on here that just kind of, I don't really know. He's a little complicated to transform too, which is a complete 180, of course, from the original Bumblebee, who was absolutely ridiculously easy to transform. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and if you like watching, hit the subscribe button so you can keep watching.
Autobots, roll out!